I think you can see me. Yeah, okay, cool. Not sure if the audio is correct, so if there's anyone in chat, you can let us know if audio is working. And actually, Chris, that's the thing you could have done. You could have gone on the Twitch and watched and listened to the audio. But yeah, we got Chris here.
Now he tells me.
Yeah, we got Chris here. We got these new Rode Wireless Go thingies, and we tried them, and we're just making sure they're working. Not quite got the setup right because I got the stream behind us for the stream for the chat. But we're going to try and see if we can build this this Sling. Again, we're starting with the horizontal stabilizer. Chris has come along. He's going to be my build buddy, and you'll see him quite a lot in the stream. He's going to help with holding cameras and helping build basically. He's just doing his PPL at the moment to get his light aircraft license, and yeah, that's the plan. So we are going to build one of these, which is a Sling TSI. This is a 3D printed model of one that you can actually buy from the LAA, Light Aircraft Association, here in the UK, which is kind of cool. And I showed some pictures last week of what it is as well, but let's get building. So what we want to do is deburr the parts that are in front of us. So I've deburred some parts already, which I showed last week, and we've got some more that are going to be deburring. But first thing to do, safety, important. So we're going to wear some safe gloves there, Chris's, because they're new. Mine are obviously not new, because I deburred the rest of it. So we put on some gloves, and the reason for that is, one of the reasons you deburr is because it's sharp and you don't want to cut yourself when you're building it. But the other reason also is the fact that a burr is the point of a crack. So it's a stress fracture, can come from a burr. So you want to remove those stress factors, make sure there's no cracks there that can appear and run off, certainly around the holes anyway. Anyone that remembers aircraft investigations when they looked at the Comet, that was the stress fractures that come out of the square kind of windows that it had there. But obviously, like on this as well, we want to get rid of all the burrs. So this really is going to be a lesson in deburring. When I did my engineering apprenticeship, I got given lots of blocks of metal and a big file to deburr everything, and we can do that. There's different tools that we can use. So if we take this half of the, this is the front spar of the horizontal stabiliser. Horizontal stabiliser, the T bit at the back of the aircraft. Horizontal stabiliser is the horizontal bit, obviously. So this is the one half of the front of the spar. So the horizontal stabiliser is going to be that wide when it's there. So we've got burrs on here, which I talked about before, and you can probably hear it as I thumb my finger across it, whereas up here where I've deburred, there's not a burr there. We can have a deburring tool, which is one of these. It's like kind of got this little hooky thing on the end, and you run it along a long line, and literally it is, you just drag it all the way along and it will deburr. In fact, actually, I can show you if we just put it on like this and just run it all the way along. You see the burr elements coming off. So you can see it takes off a little bit of aluminium. Now there's no burr, and it's completely smooth, and that part is good to go. Another option, obviously you can use files. If you want to use a bigger file, use one of these. This is called a Vixen file, and you can use that to deburr your parts as well. You'd use this on some of the bigger parts where you need to deburr a bigger section. It's got two-sided, so one side is really rough, you can see the parts, and then the other side is for smoother or finishing. Important part, if you're using a file, this is really, really important. Don't just go and grab one out the bottom of your box, at the bottom of your toolbox that you've used to deburr or file another bit of metal or some wood and stuff like that. The reason being is, obviously, a big Vixen file like this you can clean quite easily with a file card, which is one of these. It's like a metal brush, and you can clean it up and get rid of all your parts out of there. But certainly on smaller files like these, which you use on the smaller parts, the metal kind of stays in the grain of the file. So what you want to do is make sure you don't use it on anything else. So don't kind of go and use it and pick it up and use it on a bit of steel or a bit of copper or something like that, or even wood, because that will stay in the file. And then when you file your aluminium, you get those microscopic bits of metal will embed themselves in the aluminium as well, and likewise going the other way. So keep your files purely for the aircraft build. Buy some new ones because they're going to get used and abused. You've got a big Vixen file like this, and you can literally just file along and clean the burrs off as well. But that's not needed for this part, so we are literally going to use this whizzy thing here. So I've done that side, and then we'll run along the inside as well. If I take the drawings out, there you go, and we'll run along the inside as well, and it is literally just you can see it's catching there, and that is because it is got a really big burr there. So I find it go the other way. There you go. So that is deburred now. Just a little bit up in this corner, still caught, and we'll take these burrs off here. Is there anyone on the stream talking to us?
No.
Chris? No? No one's there? Oh no. We're either not live or no one cares. So, there.
Why don't I try and see if I get it up and running on my phone, see if we got a stream coming in.
Yeah.
I did register off her account, but that...
Oh, did you now? We're going to check if there's a stream or if we're on our own. So, give us a second. Super secret stuff's happening. Yeah, it's live.
You got it? Have you got
It's still live, but I don't know about the audio, that's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're back. So it looks like the stream's going out live to Twitch. I just don't know about the audio if because we're using NDI on the mobile phone
Wrong
over
camera.
there, and
Wrong camera.
we'll try that again.
Yeah.
We'll get used to streaming, I promise. We're using NDI on my mobile phone over there, and obviously there's the delay as the imagery goes from the NDI on the mobile phone across the PC and gets replayed. We've got the audio coming from the Rode 2 wireless, and we've delayed the audio in OBS to hopefully match up, and we're not sure if that sync is correct, so not sure if that's working or not, if that's all lined up, but we'll check on the feed afterwards. So we was deburring this, we are using the little Wizzy tool. I'm going to deburr this, so I'm going to carry on deburring that. If you do have any questions about this build, you're not in the chat because you're watching it on catch up, then please just come along next week and ask your questions there, or you can also just catch up with us on Twitter and ask us the questions there, because obviously this is going to be a project that we want to share with everyone.
Hello?
We've got beeps and buzzes.
We've got some beeps and buzzes,
yeah. Not sure what they are, but there's some beeps and buzzes there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Right. Yeah. What we got to do is get rid of some of this swarf as well. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare.
Well, you clean that up tomorrow, don't you, with a hoover?
Yeah, but what we don't want to do is be pressing the aluminium down onto these little small bits here. Yeah. Because then it'll embed on the underside of the...
Yeah. That's why you have this as a... What we've put on the bench, this bench is an EAA bench, so which is the American version of the LAA, Light Aircraft Association. They've got a design for a bench, so I built one of them. Ideally need two, but we only need one for the Sling, and we'll build another one later when we're doing the wings. and then all you do is the cover to stop all the wood and everything else. And so you can see the swarf, as Chris is talking about, you cover it in some lino, which is why it's got a grey top in it and not a bit of plywood top. And then it's dead easy to use a brush to sweep it all up, or you can get yourself one of these, which is a little hoover, and you can just go around and hoover it all up. Jobs are good. So where were we? We are up to deburring this section here. And this bit here. I just need to come along there again because that's not deburred. So a lot of the deburring you'll find is actually just feel. So you're just going to feel around the part and find where there's a burb. There's a bit there that's a bit stubborn, isn't going to come out, and that's because the metal's got a slight kink in it. So this is where we'll pick up our trusty little file, and we'll just file that bit out, and there you go. That's nice and tidy. So this here is now fully deburred. So now that I've deburred it, you mentioned, as we mentioned last week, these parts come covered in plastic. So most of the parts covered in this blue plastic. We peel that off. As part of that plastic is the barcode, which identifies the part. So what I've been doing is I peel the plastic off, I take the barcode out, and I keep that on the bench in front of me. It's still sticky on the back, so we keep that. Once a part is deburred, and I'm happy that it's deburred, then what I do is I take my Sharpie and I write the part number on the part from the barcode. That to me then says I prepared that part, it's been deburred. If there's no part number on it, it still needs to be done. But we're not finished yet. Before we do that, all the holes need to be deburred. Now on this part, because it's the holes are cut with the water jet cutter as well, you can run your finger around these holes here and you can feel the fact that on the outside of the larger holes it's got a burr, but on the inside it won't have because the laser goes through, the water jet goes through that way. And the same would be for these smaller holes. So on the smaller holes we'll use our twiddly thing here, which we'll come to in a minute, but on the larger holes it's easier to stick with the same tool. So all you'll do is just stick it in and run it round like that. And you'll feel all the burrs are gone. So no one's chatting to us though, which is sad really, because I thought we'd have lots of people chatting to us, but sadly not.
Is there a way of finding out how many people are watching the stream?
There is, it says in the bottom.
What we got?
How many people are watching, so one, which is probably us.
Does anybody know? Did anybody from last week know that it was this Thursday?
Well, I've tweeted it, I've put it out there, and anyone that follows the stream, if you follow us, you'll get a notification when we're about to start streaming, and on the schedule as well. So they're all now done, all those slightly larger holes. Now we go to our twiddly thing here, which has basically got, on the end of it, it's got a countersink drill bit, and that will stay stationary in the hole, and we twiddle it, and as we turn it, it will turn. Now the idea is that you do this, but you only do 2 rotations, no more, because what you're doing is taking the burr down, but if you go any further, you'll start to put in a countersink. We don't want that because it makes the metal there thin, and then when the rivet goes in, it's got less to hold on to. So literally all we're going to do is go along each one and just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and you get quite good at doing it. So what I'm going to do is, we're up to that one, Chris. I'm going to hand it across to Chris.
Yep.
He's going to carry along, and I'll deburr this bit. So you see where you're at?
Yep.
So he's just going to go across there, and
there
that's it. Just 2, and I'll deburr this one. So the Sling TSI aircraft is a turbocharged Rotax engined aircraft, and it has 4 seats on board, which means you can take the family with you and friends, and an overnight bag, and pop off. It's got 880 nautical miles range, which is quite a bit, best part of 1,000 miles. So you can go somewhere decent. You're not just going to pop along to the local airfield, and obviously 4 seats, so you've got quite a bit of room in there. And again, this one's got a slight kink in the metal, so that's that. So, how are we getting on over there, Chris?
Not too bad. Once we've done this top, I'll just go over them and make sure they are all nice and good.
Most of the aircraft builds, brutally honest, is deburring. It's a thankless task, but it's got to be done, because what you want is the aircraft to be.
Have you told them how many rivets there are on this yet?
I've not counted them all yet, Chris. That's the problem.
Well, you're not making that my job, are you?
What, riveting?
No, counting the rivets.
Well, you can count them as we put them in.
Yeah, okay, fine.
So,
But I'm glad we're doing it as we're putting them in, not trying to make sure we've got enough rivets before we get there.
well, they should all be in the kit when it's delivered. So,
Oh, they should be, yeah. Right, there we go.
so
Yeah, that all feels nice and good, that side, so we'll do the other side.
and by other side, Chris is talking about the other side of the part. We don't need to do the inside because, as I said before, where it's water jet cut, the burr will only be on one side. So what they do is they cut it all and then bend it so the parts on the inside don't need to burr, which is why I didn't need to deburr the inside, I need to deburr the outside of these parts. So. There's a kink in that. There we go. Just all deburred. And we just need to go along and do these holes. So Chris, why don't you tell everyone what you do? What's your day job? Because they all know that I'm an airline pilot.
Yeah, so I'm a computer programmer by trade. I run a little company which specialises in trying to do clever things. You know, we're not really into sort of doing website designs or things like this, which a lot of people associate with computer programs. You know, we write programs that will do anything from like play 8K uncompressed video at 60 frames a second. For anybody who's into maths, you're looking at 4.2 gigabytes of data per second just to play some video, to writing communication software which runs across satellite, to writing interactive collaboration software which can be used in education and corporate presentations. So we like to do things which are not off the shelf. You know, we like technical challenges. Right, so we've got two sides done, but we've still got to do down here.
And all of those.
And all of these.
But only on the outside.
On that side.
Yeah, on the outside, yeah.
So this is important about looking at, if we go back to our little...
I'm going to hoover.
Hoover. So what we have here, if you can hear me above the hoover, so somebody might compare this to an Airfix kit. Well, actually, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So we do have drawings, and they are isometric drawings, and they're all part number, but you still need to have an understanding of what's actually going on, because the isometric drawing will only give you a certain part of the story. So we have to actually look at it. A lot of this is about understanding where the components are, marrying them up without making it a permanent fixture, and actually seeing that they actually all fit, and that we're doing the right side of the hose, so the deburring. Because if you get that wrong, as I say, you get stress factors and things like this introduced, and we really don't want that, especially if we're going to be flying it. We want to make sure that we're building it to the highest standard that we can. So the drawings are important. We spend a lot of time visiting backwards and forwards on them. And of course, what we're trying to do is, between the two of us, get a bit of a production line, because that way, at least we can make things a bit quicker. Yeah. And then we'll find out where each of us has got a little bit of expertise or a bit of understanding, and then we can do things in parallel.
We need another one of these twiddly things.
You do need another one of those twiddly things, otherwise you have to wait.
There's probably a name for it as well.
What, twiddly thing?
Yeah, it's probably got an actual name, because I did get told off last week by Shahid for saying, well, actually, just look, I mentioned his name and he sends me a message. He's retweeted me. He's not on the stream, no, but I'm just pointing out. But I called the whizzy thing at the front of a little aircraft, the whizzy thing, and he got upset and said, what's the technical name? This is the twiddly thing, Shahid. I'm calling it out to you. If anyone knows what it's actually called, the Deburring twiddly thing,
please put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat, just for giggles. Yeah, if he pops along now, I'm going to get him. So, is that part completely deburred? Oh, right. No, because we've missed the end.
Sorry, who missed the end?
There you go.
Right.
So this one is deburred.
Okay.
So what we do now, like I said before, is Chris is going to crack on with that one.
Yep.
I'm going to write the part number inside. So the idea is you write with a Sharpie somewhere it's not going to be seen. So on external panels, you always write on the inside. You write it somewhere where it's going to be out the way, because it does show through the primer occasionally, and show through any paint you put on top as well. So you want to put it somewhere where it's not going to be seen and destroy the finished look of the aircraft. So what I've been doing is sticking it inside where, like there, where the rivets are going to go anyway. So I'm going to stick it on this one on the inside here. So just on the inside here, I'm going to write the part number, which I've lost. There it is. So HS for horizontal stabiliser, so we know what the main component is. So HS, CHL, which is for channel, because it's a channel, because it's one of the ribs. 001, because it's channel number 1. X, it's common to the Deburring aircraft, and F, and then 0 at the end is the fact that it's the first iteration or design. Some of these components have got a 2 at the end, because they are the second version, so they've basically redrawn it and upgraded the part. So that's written on the inside there. That's now complete and deburred, and that can go to one side. So Shahid's here now. Oh, Shahid, you missed the fact that I was just calling you out. I just said as you got that. And we've also got I give bad advice, no, seriously I do, who's joined us. I'm also here, not sure who that is, but hello everyone. We're not sure. We've got these Rode Wireless 2 Go thingies. Why we've got these floppy things, and we're not sure if the audio is aligned. So if you can hear the stream, if you can let us know. We've done the delay as best we can, but we're not sure. Actually, we just guessed. But if the audio is lined up with the clap, we need a clacky thing, didn't we, Chris? From,
yes.
Yeah, I'll pop along to the studios and get one for next week. If you can let us know in the chat if you can, if that's lined up or not. But basically, what we've been doing, save you rewinding, we've been deburring the channels, which is the front spar channels, and doing that. So we deburred that one and written a part number in. And Chris is going along with the twiddly thing, and I know Shahid, you love the twiddly thing. It's its technical name. We're going along and just deburring the holes because the parts are water jet cut. on the cutter back in the factory in South Africa. The burr will only be on one side because as the water jet goes through, it pushes the metal out on the other side, and it's that burr you need to take because it's a stress riser, and you'll get cracks in the airframe start to appear from there. We don't like cracks in airframes. Not good at all.
Not if we're going to fly it.
Not if we're going to fly it, and we're definitely going to fly it because we're going to come and see all you lovely people at the meetups and tech conferences around the UK and Europe. So apparently I've done enough steps and I've not moved. There's lots of burrs that we've been taking off, as you can see here. It looks like hair. Maybe I can glue it on my head. But yeah, and then you trusty little shop vac to get it all off and clean up. Now, who thought you was going to watch Twitch stream and watching a middle-aged white guy hoovering, eh? You didn't think that, did you, when you got up this morning? There you go. I'll do the proper job later. So, if you have any questions, do put them in the chat. That's what we're here for. We're going to try and answer all the questions as we go through the build. Like I say, we're working on horizontal stabilisers. So we've got all the ribs all pre-done. We've got the half of the front spar. Chris has just finished off the other half, and we've got the strength of the plate that goes across centre. And then if we look at the drawings, which are down here, we can see that we've got all of those parts. We just need these parts now, just at the back, which are the rear spar of the horizontal stabiliser. And they, in Blue Peter style, are not done, but they are under the bench, so we'll grab those. They are these parts here, so we need to deburr these. So we'll start off with the channels. We'll put these to one side, these parts.
Has anybody asked how many rivets we're expecting to put in yet?
Can you stop the hoovering? I can hear you from here. Swamp Bomb. Swamp Bomb will be my son. I can't believe he's actually tracked down the Twitch stream. So yeah, Mr. 14 or 15. He's clearly up in his bedroom watching us stream down here. So Ben, can you hear me clap? No? Well, there you go. We're cracking on with the twiddly thing, deburring the holes. I'm going to take these apart. Now, the important part here is not to mess up and get the barcodes confused with the part you deburred. So we'll take it off. I'm going to leave a little bit of plastic at the end because the other one doesn't have a bit of plastic, and then we'll know which one is which. And like I said earlier, this one has got a 2 at the end of it. So this is a second iteration or second design of this particular component or part. So we'll take these barcodes off and I'll leave them there so we can check on it. Swamp Bomb says he can hear me clap all the way from up in his bedroom. I'm pretty certain he should be doing some homework or something. But yeah, so these ones actually are not actually that bad. They don't actually need that much in the way of deburring, which is awesome. And the reason being is this is slightly thicker metal, and the thicker parts tend not to need as much deburring. But I'm just going to clean up. There's a slight small deburr on it, so I'm just going to clean it up with our trusty deburrer tool. Better if I do it like that. There you go. That's better. And then we'll do the same this side. There you go. So this is going to be quite quick because that one is done. Awesome. And then just these bigger holes. Deburring tool around those because you can't get these with the twiddly deburrer thing that Chris has got.
There we go. We've
done that one?
That's all done. So, and it looks like somebody's already written HS channel 001X F0.
I must have done it before then.
Yeah, so that's already been written on there, so that's all good.
Here you go, Chris. Do the twiddly bits. So we're starting to get a little bit of a process together. It's always good if you can get a friend. Shahid said he got timed out by the bots. The whirly thing from last week was the prop, but the deburring tool can also be a whirly thing. But then we'll get confused, Shahid. So we'll call it the whirly deburry thing. How about that? We'll call it that. And Shahid, is the timing on or off? Are we working with good audio timing? Not sure. You can let us know in the chat. And if you have any questions, please do, set the hole out the ceiling, please do let us know in the chats. This one's got a fairly big burr at the end here. So, I'm still not sure why you would have got timed out in the chat either. I'm hoping you can hear us.
Can somebody actually confirm they can hear us?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to have to take a crash course in sign language.
Yeah.
And as I'm Glaswegian, the spelling is going to be really interesting. I don't want to repeat that joke in sign language.
So. And the idea is, with this stream, is the fact we're going to stream as much of this build as we can do, which is all of it. And then as we complete each section, so once we complete the horizontal stabiliser, I'll take all the video content that is also going to YouTube as well as Twitch, and I'll condense it down into these boring bits. Will just suddenly get sped up.
This is not boring. What makes you think this is boring?
Yeah, we'll get sped up, and then we'll have a section which I'm hoping to get down to about 10-15 minutes, which will just be us quickly building each section, horizontal stabiliser, the vertical stabiliser, and the rudder, etc. So that is the plan. You sometimes find that the deburring tool isn't really going to do like short sections. It's made really for longer sections. So that's when you come back to your trusty file and just run it along. Only needs a few runs along there, and that takes off the burr. Certainly for smaller bits like this, it's just going to take off the worst of the burr. It should be good. I've put in, can you hear us? And no one's replied, so I'm wondering if they can, if they're reading the messages as well. But
did you send them a message?
I did.
Are we going to try the same language?
Can you hear us?
I was thinking of being a little bit more blunt.
So they must be able to hear us because Swamp Bomb said earlier they can hear us from there. Because I said about the noise of the Hoover, and he said, can you turn it off? So yeah, don't know. I'm not sure who I give bad advice. No, seriously, I do is that a koala bear? Yeah, it looks like a koala bear. Yeah, so we're not sure. So that's that done. We'll go back to this and doing the holes. Well,
you know, it might be that they prefer the audio off.
Maybe they do. Maybe they just don't want to hear our dulcet tones, Chris.
No.
Maybe it's maybe we're boring them. We've got no interesting comments to make. You know.
My attempt at humour is definitely not working.
No. So got a joke for you though, Chris. Come on, my best dad joke.
Go on.
I give bad advice, no seriously I do. Said sound and video aren't synced. Which one's in front then? Sound or video? If you let us know, then we can change the sound and the video, whichever way it needs to go. But my dad joke, here we go. Where do dads keep their jokes?
Where do dads keep their jokes? I have no idea.
You no idea?
No.
In a database, obviously.
Oh.
But we can make that sort of thing every stream. I could give you a dad joke because I know the boys, my two boys, love the dad jokes. I've got 3 boys actually, but only 2 that live here. I'm not sure the older one will sync to watching his dad on Twitch. You never know. You never know. I'll send him the Twitch stream. You can join in. You can come and help us build as well.
I get away with that. I don't have any kids. Oh, not
finished.
Not finished because I've got to do these
fair
ones.
enough. Go on in. So yeah, we're not sure if the sound on video is synced properly. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is for next week is rather than using a mobile phone NDI, I'm going to put a camera up on the wall just there, and have the camera cable back to the PC. So it definitely is synced. Then it's got a hard connection rather than using the Wi-Fi and the data for NDI. NDI is great, but doing things like this where you're trying to get the audio and that synced is a bit of a pain. So yeah, we'll try Quite, because we keep getting timed out. We can hear you. Audio sync isn't 100%, but it's much better than last time. Sound is ahead. So sound's ahead. Let's see if we can fix that, shall we? While Chris is twiddling the twiddly thing.
Put more of a delay in. Put in 2.6.
No, the sound is ahead, so we want to undo the delay, don't we?
Well, it depends on what you're delaying. Are you delaying the video or are you delaying the sound? If you're delaying the video, then yeah.
Yeah, we're delaying the sound, so we want to bring this.
And I'm supposed to know about this sort of stuff.
We'll come down to. I'll come down to.
600 milliseconds.
Yeah, there we go. We come down to that 1200 milliseconds. There we go. So we're down to. Hopefully, we'll sort this out and sort out issues and problems out while we're doing that. And Shahid, you keep getting timed out, and I honestly do not know why that is. So I don't know how I turn that off. And yeah, we kind of need someone who knows how it all works.
Is it an OBS problem?
I don't think it is. No, I've got moderation here.
Last week we had that moderation, didn't we? Yeah.
There we go. I've been really scary. I've turned auto mod off, so we'll see how that works. Let us know, Shahid, if you get timed out again, and if you can hear us. And here's the sound check. So let us know if they're in front or behind. How are we getting on, Chris?
I think this is done. Just
that one's done, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just making sure, going over it. Nothing's catching. That one's done.
Yeah. So I will write on the part here what we got, and this is channel 2. So this is HS channel CHL 002, and we've got X F. And this is 2 because it's the second version. What we have seen here is the fact that some of these have been drilled out by hands. So you can see that because you can see there, if I come round, we've got some telltale rings around the, I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, some telltale rings, I've caught it there I think, around the hole, which means they've been drilled out, and what they've done is where they've been drilling, they've been pushing on a chuck has hit the part. So what we'll need to do is just check that on this one and go through and deburr the other side as well, because that is clearly a stress riser. None of these other parts had it that we recognise or see. So these are all okay, and we went through and checked. But these ones on this channel here have some burrs on them, so we'll have to go through and deburr the inside of there as well, because we don't want burrs because they cause a thing.
The inside,
and we're getting not an OBS problem, most likely settings or internet issue. I'm not sure what you mean there by I give band of ice. No, seriously I do. We need to shorten your name. Sound is still a slight bit ahead. Let's see if we can drop it down. Why we've got the you lovely people here helping us, and we'll do this, and we'll go down to there. That. So will let us know if it's still slightly ahead. So sound check. Let us know if you could, please, in the chat. And yeah, any questions would be great, because we like to answer the questions. So we've got that one bit there, and we just need to finish off a couple of burrs on the bottom there. And
you need another one of these.
Need another twirly thing, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've got another one. I'm going to look on the bench over here. What I do have though is one of those, which isn't a twirly thing, but it does the same job.
Does it?
Well, sort of ish, kind of.
Sort of ish, kinda.
Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah, it's a deburrer. So it's a point deburrer. So where you can't get the twiddly thing to twiddle it, like here, we can put this in and just deburr like that. So that's not going to work on that one because it's too long. So not really going to work that one. So what we'll do is we will use, that's going to be too big as well. we'll have to use a file. And what I'm going to do is use the Vixen file for this on the smoother side, and I'm just going to hold it down and just run it along and take off these burrs. See they're coming off. They're coming off. So it's behind still. Let me just check if there's a difference on Twitch. Can you do it once more? Do watch Hid. Flat. There you go. Set to 0 100 milliseconds. Move to YouTube chat. Can do the sync check again. There you go. Behind, can you do it once more? It's behind still. Let me check if there's a difference on Twitch. Do you mean the sound is behind the video, or the video is behind the sounds? Because at the moment, using these Rodes, that's it, thank you, Chris. That's why we're a team. Using these Rode Wireless 2 Go's and NDI, what I've had to do is put it's now a 1 second delay from the audio of the Rode to try and match with the NDI that's being displayed the video. So on YouTube it's pretty close now. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Shahid. That's kind of cool. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to go with a full fixed camera if I can get one for next week's stream. We plan to do this every week.
Oh, I wonder who's going to be supplying that.
Well, no, we'll find one. I've got one kicking around. There'll be one around somewhere. I've got an Azure Passat there. We can use that. What? I'm allowed to have it now. They're released.
When I missed that?
Well, they're released. You can go and buy it now. If you want an Azure Passat, you can buy it on the Microsoft Store. It won't be delivered before the 13th of October.
Go order something.
Yeah. They're pretty decent devices. I've been doing some blogging about them on the Microsoft Tech community blog, which is kind of cool. Not much on YouTube now. I mean, the audio is ahead now, so not much. So it's still ahead, but pretty close. Let's drop it down another 100 milliseconds because...
Perfectionist.
Well, you know, you've got to kind of be, you know, it's playing with numbers, isn't it? And it's like numbers, don't we? 1,000 Cliff, because that's a real delay. Let's try that, and let's give it a few seconds to catch up, and here we go, and we'll see if that works. I'm not even sure you're going to notice 100 milliseconds in a clap, but there you go. So that's not really going to work for us. It's too big for these parts, so we're going to put it over here, and we'll go back to trying to use a small file, and it's just taking out the burrs on these ones here. There you go. So not much on YouTube. That looks good. That was at 8:41, so a few seconds ago. So I think that was probably the second clup. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad we've managed to solve that problem on there. YouTube is pretty good now. Thanks, Shahid. Thank you for that. Sounds like we've got the audio finally sorted. So if you've watched anything before then, you just have to ignore the fact that the audio and the video don't quite match up. So I'm just going to try and get these out. This isn't going to work. I'm just going to have to rock it backwards and forwards a bit, which is another little way of doing it. Seems to be working quite well. And that one there as well. There you go. And there's a couple this end as well. Is there any on the inside of that one, Chris?
A couple, yeah.
I'm not sure what's happened with this. Sometimes the quality you get out of the factory isn't 100%, isn't brilliant, sadly. You know, we'd all love it to be, but like all things that are manufactured, you sometimes get quality parts that are not brilliant. The factory are very good. If there's something that can't be fixed, like what I'm doing here, at the end of the day, it's a DIY build, so you know, you can make of it as you will, but if you can't fix it, they'll send you a new part, and quite often they will air freight them out to you if you complain enough. I've not had to do it yet, but then we're only just starting to build. So, but these bits like this are kind of accepted, the fact that you'll sort them yourself. So yeah. But yeah, there we go. There's a few here. They've been drilled manually for some odd reason. The bit that concerns me now is if they've been done manually, if they've been done in the correct place. Because obviously if they've not, we could have all sorts of issues when we're trying to line our holes up later. What they do is these holes, because they're all CNC cut, then the holes should match up 100%. It's called match drilling, where the holes of one part should match exactly the holes on another part.
Fingers crossed.
And that's what you want. So we've got a couple up here as well.
Yeah. Well, these top ones we're not going to get to know whether they're in the right place until we get the skin on it.
No, we won't.
So we're a bit away from that. That's not going to happen for some time. That, but at least
Well,
we
what
might
you
be able to
do-
get some of the other spars actually ribs actually measured up and lined up with each other.
Yeah, and what you also got to do is you don't put the skin on until you've built the frame. So you build the frame like we're doing now. You test fit it together with Clecos, which we'll come to in a bit. Once you've done the test fitting together, then you take it apart. You prime the parts, so you spray them with a primer. We'll come to that when we get to that stream, which isn't going to be anytime soon. And then once they've been primed, you then rivet the parts together with your final rivets. And once they've been finally riveted together as a frame, you'll have like a frame with no skin on. Then you get your inspector, who's a volunteer for the LAA. You get them to come over and check the fact that you've built it and you're not being a complete numpty and put something on upside down, that sort of thing. And the inspectors, as I say, they're volunteers, but you tend to kind of give them a bit of money for their petrol and feed them tea and biscuits while they're here. What I will do is I don't think it's fair to ask the inspector to be on stream when inspecting the parts. I don't think that's fair on them because they might feel obliged to just say, yeah, it's all fine. So when we get to that part, we'll have the inspector inspect it off screen and then we'll give you the verdicts afterwards. You know, if they find anything that's wrong, obviously you have to fix it and make it better. But you know, at the beginning part, it's you know, that's why you start with the tail of the aircraft, because all the skills you need for the whole build of the aircraft are in the tail. So just going through these, because some of these are pretty nasty holes. So going from there. But if you have any questions, do stick with that. How much is the original price for the inspector? Like I say, the inspectors, they're volunteers, so you know, a decent cup of tea and some biscuits, and then a bit of money for petrol. Just so happens that my inspector is also an engineer for British Airways, and he has to drive past my house to get home. So he's quite happy to stop in and help out. Yeah, it is what it is, and you just kind of. I think I've done that bit, Chris. Maybe you want to check the ones in there. Yeah, but kind of £30–40 an inspection. You probably need about sort of 20 or 30 inspections as the build goes along. Did I write in that one? Yeah. As the build goes along, and what they do is they put a little stamp in your build log. Let me get that, and I can show you that. So you get a lovely manual from the LAA, and this is your build manual, and in there is all your inspection sheets. So you have these blue sheets here, which are your inspection sheets, and what you do is your inspector will fill in against the sections and put stamps and signatures in there. So we're talking about here, item 12, complete the skin fin for alignment, riveting and quality. The fin is the vertical stabiliser. Tail pane skeleton before skinning, fittings attached, check dimensions, riveting and quality. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to check the fact that the whole tail plane is all correctly built before it's been skinned, before skinning, before any of the skins are put on. And then they'll sign it and stamp it and date it, and that's there. And they've got a blue page for every step of the build. Some of the sections are generic because these blue pages are not just for a Sling, they'll be for an RV and something like that, but there will be for an aluminium build aircraft because other aircraft are made out of wood or carbon fibre, that sort of thing. or fiberglass even. So yeah, so that's what you do. And when you're finished, you give all those blue sheets, you send them off to the LA, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they give you a permit to test, which is the bit where you can start going flying, which is kind of awesome. I hope that answers your question. I give bad advice, no, really I do. So you picked that name, yeah, despite us, haven't you? I will get used to saying it. We have got a screen over there. I think what we're going to do, Chris, I think we need a camera up there.
Yep.
This big screen we've got down here, it's on the floor, which was testing for that project.
Yep.
It will stick that up on the wall.
Yep.
And then we'll have everything in front of us, so we don't need to keep looking down there or looking over there. We'll just have it up there.
Yep.
So
Okay.
That sounds
so
like
next week, I'll be working from here.
What's that?
Oh, nobody can see me then.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this all looks good.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty good.
So,
right.
got that.
So we got 4 bits.
We've got those bits, and goes around the other way, Cliff. There you go.
So let's go back to our wonderful plan.
Well, we've got these bits here now. So they've both been written on, so we can put those barcodes.
Where are we going to? Where's the time? How are we doing on time?
We are at, well, we've been going for, what, nearly an hour now, and we've got quite a bit of deburring done. I'm just going to hoover up. So
did you want to actually do maybe some of the cross ribs?
well, the only bits left to deburr are these two here. So I'm thinking we get these bits deburred.
They're all done, right?
They're all done. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So you do the edge, I'll do the holes.
Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
So, like I said, plastic. Some of them have got clear plastic on, just because that was the bit that they were there.
Up here as well.
Oh, we could put a camera up there, couldn't we?
Yeah, looking down. If
Yeah,
get
how
a
we
wide angle or a
connect
fish
it
eye. Or fish eye.
Fish eye would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we do have another camera, which is that one.
Oop, there we
Yeah,
go.
which is an RTSP stream, which is from over there. Hello. But you can see it's probably got even more of a delay. So yeah.
Look a little bit sort of.
Yeah.
Hold on, was I standing there 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. So we'll take this off.
Right, you do that.
And we need that
Right, while
sticky
you're
bits.
doing
Well, because I don't want to get mixed up and end up with the wrong bit and the wrong part. Because these bits do look similar.
Except
Don't know.
for the wings there.
Yeah, I know, but even so, I still don't know.
Plus it's got an edge.
There we go. End up with lots of plastic everywhere. So you need a handy bin beside you. I will. Where's the burr? The burr's on the outside of this one, as you'd expect. And there's a little notch in there, which is a gotcha.
Ooh, yeah.
Just take that bit off there. There you go. Is that done? So, any other questions? Oh, it's moved up really quick. Yeah, I agree. The angle is terrible. Thank you, Swamp Bomb. Can you? Are you on the run, Chris? On the run from where?
Yeah, from what? What do you think I'm on the run from?
Can you stop hoovering? I'm trying to watch Star Wars Visions. Star Wars Visions. An overhead would be awesome. Yeah, it would be actually. Especially in the corner. Especially in the corner. Can you much closer inspect it? Especially in the corner. I've lost the train of thought there.
Especially in the corner. A camera in the corner.
Camera in the corner.
Well, we've got a camera sorted.
We have got one. It's just not very good.
But
yeah, an overhead and one directly in front would be kind of awesome, I think. But obviously, all these things come with a price, don't they?
I mean, you've got to remember, we're going to be competing with the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, is that on tonight?
I don't know.
I do.
I know it's about this sort of time that the production company air it. I mean, they filmed it in the summer, but I mean, they're airing it now. So I mean, it's like anybody watching us is.
You know why, don't you? You know why they film it in the summer and air it now, don't you? Because in the summer, no one wants to eat cake, it's all hot and sweaty.
Yeah.
And you want ice cream,
Yeah.
so you're not really going to be interested in cake. But this time of year, it's starting to get colder and colder. You know, we all kind of put a bit on, don't we? Because we eat the cakes and the nice things. So that's why they do it. See, they're clever.
Okay. Well, I'm not putting weight on because I'm on the run apparently. I'd like to know more details about that.
Yeah, who was she?
Yeah. Oh yes, yeah. Maybe I should have a wife. It's cheaper than 3 girlfriends and 2 kids to support.
Yeah. I need to turn that bit around. Let's get this one here. There we go. So. Some of these bits are not easy to deburr.
No, it's probably where you want a little bit of support. You know, see if you had a little slot in the bench, you would be able to do that rather than having it, because you want to support it off this end.
Well, you can hold it.
Yeah. Could you not
No,
just put it a bit like that?
You just take it there like that.
Yeah. There you go. Careful, men at work.
Yep. And this one.
So sometimes you have to improvise. So you know,
Yeah.
get the file out. It would be really nice if we had a bit of extra support on here, but you know we need to improvise.
I switched file because I've got a half round file, so we need one of those as well. There you go. So that bit there, Chris, is all over to you now for holding.
Right.
With the twiddly thing.
The twiddly thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And obviously you want to go that side because
Yes.
the burrs. Are they on the outside or on the inside?
Yeah, that's what I'm just checking. Which side?
Actually, they're on the inside.
They're on the inside this
Yeah.
time. So again, when we look at the layout and the isometric drawing, it doesn't really tell us that information. So we've got to improvise and actually understand what we're building, not just sort of say, "Oh yeah, this goes there." You know, we actually got to make sure we check things.
Yeah.
So
So you're going to have to do that over the edge of the table, aren't you?
yes.
Yeah. Swamp Bomb says Star Wars Visions, the new Star Wars show. Is that a cartoon? Is it one of those cartoon ones? I hate the cartoony ones. They really do nothing for me. That just happens to be anime, your favourite. Oh yes, it is anime and cartoony. Shahid says we need a solution where someone can control the camera angles for you remotely, switching OBS scenes, etc. We do actually. Are you offering there, Shahid? We
Yeah.
we could get one of the. We could get a robot. Here we go. We could get. We can get a robot, which we had before, and then we can use .NET and a bit of I've forgotten what it's called now. The real-time Signalar. Use Signalar connection to it, and you can control the camera and move it around. I see no problem with that. Yeah. Swamp Bomb says that sounds like a job for child labour. Well, deburring, yes, it does, and you should be down here helping.
Yeah, you're going to be in trouble for that now.
So, but
of course, yeah, we could build our own PTZ camera, or we could see, who supplies PTZ cameras.
we could, but the problem is that's the PTZ camera up there, but it's an RTSP stream, and it's not the quickest, which is why we're not using it. Because it's a tad on the slow side, and the delay is really, really bad, and it keeps cutting out and cutting in and all sorts. So while Chris is doing that, I'll do this. Be there in a sec, says Swamp Bomb. He's obviously rushing down there.
Yeah.
So he wants to be on the internet.
No chance.
Yeah, whether Mum will let him out.
Probably
in fact, actually, he's doing his DV awards, so he could help with this, and it could go towards his DV skills. The fact that he's got a stream going and he's building it and all the other things, but he won't, because that means he's down here helping as opposed to doing what he's meant to be doing, which is probably his homework or getting ready for bed, because there's school tomorrow. So, Shahid, what time is it there in New Zealand? I'm not sure whereabouts in New Zealand you are again now. I know you're down there somewhere. You keep sending great pictures on the Twitters of the Bay Area. But yeah, where's Whereabouts are you in the down unders? So this bit actually is not too bad. It probably doesn't need much in the way of deburring. A little bit there. So we will just run this along here.
8 a.m. Friday morning. Oh dear. Sorry to get you up.
So
for this.
you're yeah, Auckland. That was it. I knew you was somewhere like that. So you're washing this over your cornflakes, really, aren't you? So. 8 a.m. Friday morning. We've still got a bit of Thursday to go here.
Yeah, you'll get to the weekend before us nicely. Yeah. So, what are we doing here?
We're just deburring this a bit. Can you hold that bit again, Chris?
All right, let me finish this one because I don't want to lose my place.
You don't want to lose your place, yeah.
Because I don't want to miss one and I don't want to do one twice.
No.
Right.
Just hold the end of that one. I'll just deburr along here.
Yep. Okay. There you go. This is where we do need the gloves because I don't want to lose any part of my finger.
Yeah, there you go. So that's all done.
Right. Well, let me finish this off. Right. Where was I?
Yeah.
Dear. Is that camera going black and white over there?
The stream out hasn't, so yeah, I'm not sure if it's.
The preview camera, it's
it's
gone
just
black
gone
and white.
black and white on the NDI. I don't know if it's it does that say power or not. I don't know. Definitely colour on the OBS though. So yeah. I want the lottery numbers, by the way. If you know them, Shahid, yeah, if you know them for the future, that'd be great.
Well, you're ahead of us. You know, you're
Yeah.
already into Friday. You know,
Yeah.
so do you mind giving us a head up?
Yeah. So.
If anybody's got a flux capacitor as well, we're in the market for one of them.
Yeah. We can jump ahead to when this aircraft is built.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that. We're going to have fun building
And
it.
it needs to be a flux capacitor, not a telephone box.
Yeah.
That's a joke for anybody who's of a certain age.
No. I think even Swampbum will get that.
Would he?
Yeah. He knows what we mean by a telephone box and and yeah, a certain doctor.
Well, a telephone box, yes. Well, there's a blue telephone box, and of course there's an awesome Bill and Ted telephone box as well, isn't there? Yeah. That's really pushing the boat out.
Oh, I found a way of doing it. There you go. Look at that. Instead of doing it from the top, which is what I was doing before, put it from underneath. This tool works a lot better. So, is a...
Probably because it's pulling itself down against an object which is not moving, instead of pulling the aluminium away.
So we've got that. So that's all the deburring done. So
well, hold on, I've not
just
finished yet.
Get all 42. Yeah.
42, yes.
Yeah, we know that. Shid says the colour's great. So, right, that's the rear stiffener plate, and this was the centre channel.
Yeah, we spent hours trying to get these lights just the right colour of white.
Yeah, we do have a lot of lights above us. So yeah, that is.
We've got more light than your average
19.
TV studio here. It's actually a good thing.
Stiffener plate is that one. So,
Yep.
Right, I'll take that then.
Yep, just checking everything feels good. Yep.
Yep, right, you take that one.
Right.
And I'm going to write on here with our Sharpie. Rear stiffener plate was that one there, wasn't it? So I told you I'd get confused. Oh man. So I'm going to put in here.
He's getting confused at this stage. I hate to think what's going to happen when we're flying.
Well, you know, this is the plate, stiffener plate 002 XE version 1. So that's that done. So just put that in there. I'm going to keep all the barcodes because we are going to build an app where we can scan the barcode or put in a number that we've handwritten on this, and it will show you in the drawings where it is. So that's something we're going to do as well. We're going to build that with .NETs, Azure backends, a bit of Azure storage is being used for that. and Cosmos DB. So as your storage for drawings, Cosmos DB for all the part numbers and all the lookups, and then a .NET MAUI app, multi-platform app UI is what that stands for if you haven't worked it out already, and that's what we're going to use that for. So a nice app, then it'll work on Windows, iOS, all the iOSs including Mac OS, and all the Androids as well. So we'll have a nice app where you can just black the barcode with the camera on the device, and it will show you where in the drawings that part is and how many you should have. Like should you have 2 of them, for example, like that. That's the plan. It's a work in progress, but we need some test barcodes to build with. So as I'm taking them off, rather than chucking them in the bin like everyone else, I'm keeping the barcodes to one side to do it with. So we have been. I've been messaged by Swamp Bomb now, asking if I want a cup of tea.
Oh yeah. Milk 2, please.
Milton 2 says Chris. I'm good. I've still got a cup of tea over there in my Wilderness Labs cup. But yeah, while Chris is still using the twiddly thing to finish twiddling.
Yeah, I know. I'm a hold up. I'm slow.
So I'm going to use the Hoover and finish hoovering. So if you have any questions though, feel free in the chat to ask away. If you have any suggestions how we can make the stream better, we're new to this, as I'm sure you can tell. So let us know and we'll see what we can do. I think of another dad joke, but I can't think of one at the moment. But yeah.
Marvellous.
So there we go. So we've deburred now. Now what we need to do is we can start assembling it. What you do, you use these things called clicos to dry assemble. So if I grab down the clicos that we're going to use, a clico is one of these. So it is a little round nodule like that. You use a special set of pliers called clico pliers. And if I come round, we're going to need a macro lens of something as well, Chris.
Yeah.
You can see the pliers. I've got a bowl in the ends. You can see the end there has got a clip. And what you do is you turn the pliers around, hook the part in there, and then as you push on there, it pushes the part through. If we can see the end, if I hold it there, as you push it, it's long and thin. So what you do is you put it into one of the holes and you squeeze it so it goes long and thin. You squeeze it through, you let go, and that's the wrong size for that one. I would pick up the wrong one, wouldn't I? There you go, you squeeze it through, poke it through, get it there, and it will hold the parts together. It's a little bit loose because obviously it's designed for holding a couple of parts together. In fact, actually, because that one is no good. It's broken. It's not going fully back.
Right, before you go too far, need to write on this part number.
All right, I'm just going to show the people at home. So you go through there and we lock it off, and then it locks off and it's nice and solid. That one there is damaged, so we'll put that in the bin. These are relatively cheap, so you end up with lots of them. Got a whole box there, you know, a good few hundred of them. So we'll do that. Right, Chris, who was part number, yeah?
Part number, yeah.
What was this? X. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I agree. One dad joke per stream is enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought my dad joke was brilliant.
Just remind Cliff that. Yeah.
I thought
if he tries mentioning that again, just be my guest. Put something in the.
I thought it was brilliant. Right. So now what we need.
Can anybody remember what the joke was?
Something about databases. So now we've done that, we can then start to assemble the parts. So we can go to the section of the drawings, which is here, which is building the front spar. So we had those down in here. So what we'll do is we'll take the sections and we'll lay them out. So that one can go over there, that one can go over there, and then we're going to get this stiffener plate. It goes in the centre and lines up with the holes there and lines up with the holes there, like that. And then we have these angles which go on the inside as, is it that way? How's it going there? Like that.
Yes.
Underneath.
Yeah, now that's an interesting one because we're having to look. We've got 3 items going together, but we don't know what the order is in terms of layering them because it's not entirely clear.
Well, the rivet goes through. Oh, I think that could be your tea.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Thank you very much.
Swamp bombs
and biscuits, not for me, then.
Tea.
I can't eat those biscuits. Sorry.
Regular milk, right?
Regular milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 sugars.
Oh, give it back then.
2 sugars, right?
Simple instructions.
Got it.
Yep, can
So-
you have the biscuits quick?
Okay.
So, looking at the drawings, they've the exploded drawings is like a line that goes through all the parts. So it goes through the channel first, then through the stiffener plate, which lines up like that. And then once it's through the stiffener plate, it then goes through the angle, which is there, like this, and we line up like this. So what we could do is we could put a couple of clicos in the end here, Chris.
Yeah, if we start at putting a couple in at either end. Have you only got one of those?
No, there's another one in the box. Up there, on the side.
Oh yeah, got it.
Yeah, problem is you've got to get the right size ones. These are not the right size clicos. So we need the bigger 4mm ones for this, and which are black, so different colours for different sizes. And we'll line that up again, and this is there, and we go through there.
Dankeschön.
Are you seriously using a phone?
Seriously using a phone? No.
Use a webcam. It costs like not even £10.
Yeah, I know. But
Thank you for the advice. We will take that under
we'll
advisement.
take that on board. So now we've been told by Swamp Bomb.
You're using a £400 phone for...
Streaming, yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Who made the tea?
Huh? Me.
Fantastic.
Thanks, T-Boy.
Thank you.
Ah, thanks. Love the label.
Yeah, good.
So you can see.
It's probably because of the phone though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see there we've now got this bit held on with clicos that come through the other side. So we put a few of those on, and we'll do the same with the other side, and we'll put those on. There's a clico under here somewhere. There we go. There's a few of them actually.
Okay, so what we got?
So that's there. That's there. We'll line it up with these. Oh, am I stealing your thunder? Sorry.
No, you're not stealing my thunder at all. No, not at all. I was just sort of...
And the idea of doing this is the fact that you can check the fact that all the holes line up and the match drilling works. You can pre-build it and make sure you've got it all set, all the parts are right, so you've got all the right parts ready to build. But also it's a kind of dry run, a practice run of the build, so that you know that when you do this and you're putting real rivets in, which are not going to come out, or they are, but you need to drill them out and it's a pain in the backside, that you've kind of built it once already. You've kind of got a rough idea of how it's going to go together. The drawings are good, but they're not great. You know, there are some instructions at the top, but this one reads step 2, clico and rivet parts together as shown. Yeah, thanks. So you've got to try and work out the exploded diagram, and as Chris mentioned earlier, you've got to work out the order of the parts. So I'm looking at this. We've gone through the main channel, we've gone through the stiffener plate, and now we've got to go through these angles, which I believe go on like this. So they will go in there like that. So we stick a couple of clicos in there.
Hold on.
I'll explain in a minute, Chris.
I would agree with that. That's the right layering.
So we need to...
Because this is an angle which is going to be important, because this isn't just a flat rib. It is actually got a bit of a V shape to it.
So we'll stick that through there.
Yep.
We'll stick that through there, and we'll do the one for the other side. Where's the other one gone? There it is. when I built the hangar, I didn't think height was going to be too much of an issue, but clearly it is.
You can't build it anyhow.
Oh no, you're not allowed.
Yeah. Something to do with planning regulations. No idea what that's all about.
Yeah, we don't like them. So that goes there, and in there, we get another one of these, and we stick this one in here. So now we've got like this, and as Chris says, this angle is important. So you close these up, and it gives you a nice bent angle. So we'll stick these like this, and we'll put a couple of 4mm, which are the black ones, or you can put some. The outer ones are 2.4, so they'll be the silver ones.
So you want black or silver?
We'll take a couple of black and some silver ones. So here we go. So some blacks. Because all coloured, so black is 4mm, and the copper are actually they're not even 4mm there. They're going to be the bigger 4.8s, which I don't have Clicos for, because everyone told me you don't actually need them.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's why, because where you use those.
Put it up at this end. I was going to do that one first, just so it's. Yeah, that's it.
And the other thing that the Clicone together helps you work out is actually they're slightly bigger, aren't they? So these are the 2.4s.
Yeah.
And them ones are the coppers. So there's a mixture of rivets along there.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, they're not 4.8s. They're even bigger than 4.8s. So these are the copper ones. There we go. So we do this. So you put it all together, work at that. No, dude. And we've got the younger T-boy here. He's off stream, and he's off the bed. So we are on Twitch.
We are on Twitch.
We're live right now. They can hear you. The world can hear you, including Swamp Bomb. No, not Swamp Bomb. He wasn't here, but Shahid, who's way out in Auckland. Silicon Orchid. Hey, welcome. He's turned up a bit late. Never mind. You're only an hour and 15 late, but it doesn't matter. What model is this again? This is a Sling TSI from Sling Aircraft or the aircraft factory in South Africa. If you look it up, Sling TSI on the Googles and the Bings or whatever you choose to use, DuckDuckGo or whatever. Check out the microphones; they work really well. They do. We've got a set of what they're called again, Chris. They're called
Rhodes.
Rhodes. That's it. Rhodes wireless go-tos, and they're actually pretty darn awesome. I'm really impressed with it. And yeah, so we're having to delay the audio by 1 second, so we're stuck to one camera at the moment because I haven't worked out in OBS how to only delay the audio on one of the scenes. It seems I can only work out how to do it where you delay the audio for the input. So we're sticking with the NDI, but what we're going to do, we decided we don't like the NDI and putting delays in, we're having to kind of guess. So what we're going to do is next week we're going to stick a camera up on the wall. It's going to be wired back to the PC. So we'll get a webcam where it's got a long cable. We could use the GoPro. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. We do have a GoPro 8 here, don't we? Was it a 7? All right, sorry.
I think I've got a 9 Hero. We can bring that along.
Problem is, Mr. 12 is Mr. Tech. He knows all the techie stuff there is. If you want to know anything about Apple, he's your man. We have discussions from time to time. You don't need to do every hole, Chris, just every couple. You're just looking enough to hold it together.
Yeah, only because they're out at the far edge, so
yeah.
Just to
so
make
you can see here, we've now got the channel and spar all held together with Clicos. So we'll put some Clicos on the other side, which is probably going to be easier if we twiddle it around like that and put some Clicos this side. And then once we've got some Clicos in there, we can put it to one side and we will have that part built, and then we can build the rest of the frame. And once we've got the rest of the frame, we can build the whole component together. So let's put some Clicos in there. And like I say, the reason you want to put Clicos in is to make sure that you've got all the parts lined up correctly, and then just make sure the match drilling is good and you don't need to drill out any parts because, like I said earlier, where they've hand drilled some of these, some of the holes will line up just as much as you like. And before you spray it, you want to make sure your drilling, your dimpling and everything else is done correctly, because once you've sprayed it, if you then have to cut a hole or file it or do anything, then obviously you've got to respray it and reprime it again, which is not really a good idea. I'm just going to steal some out of here.
What?
Because
How many viewers? 2.
two? We've got more than 2. Shh, got 3. So Silicon Orchid is saying GoPro, it just needs to work as a webcam too. I've got a Osmo Pocket, wicked little gimbal thing, which would have been awesome for your stream because it could track you about. Oh, I'd like to know what one of those is, please, Silicon Orchid. But you can never get it to work on a streaming webcam. Sucks. Oh, okay, fair enough then. We did have one of those kind of gimbal things earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
To have the mobile phone in, but it just wasn't going to really
It was
work.
a bit floppy.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. So you can see here, we've now got it all held together and all clear-coed in. So we'd leave it like this. So what we'll do is we'll stick it down to one side and we'll start clear-coing the other side together. So I'm going to stick this down out of here, out the waist, then stood on. And space is a premium. So we'll clear all these bits out of the way because they're all in the way at the moment, and we will build the next section. So what's next, Chris? Oh look, it's the rear spar, which is the bits we did earlier. So we're doing the rear spar channel. So we've got that one there, we've got this one here, and what we're putting through it. So if we go through, we've got this section here, comes from the back, like that. Well, that can't be right because it doesn't slot in. Oh no, it does. You just need to give it a bit of a helping hand. There we go. So that goes through there, and this one goes on the inside, I believe. Is that right?
Looks like it, yeah.
Line it up, and we
That's
will
looking
hold it
good.
like that, and we can put some clicos in. So I'll put a couple of clicos in here.
So what sizes are we going with these ones?
These are,
Given that you haven't got the 4.8.
no, so we'll stick these in there
We've got some silver ones at the far end then.
and in there and in there. Oh, there. So we're going to need to get some of the larger clicos. I thought I had all the sizes, and I was told by some friends that you don't need the bigger ones, but clearly you do. They lied. So
Nope, that's not that size.
So turn it on its front like that. We can.
So it's probably, let's try 3.2 there.
Oh, those little ones at the ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the silver ones.
No,
Sorry, the
copper
bronze
ones. Yeah.
There we go. So you use lots and lots of clicos. You do need lots of them. There is a suggested number in the build log. It gives you an idea of how many you need. So you can look those up in the build manual, and it explains to you how many you need. What happens when you purchase your aircraft and your build from Sling? What they do is they'll send you a link to the builder's Dropbox, and then on there they update on the manuals. The downside is they don't tell you they've updated the manuals. So what you have to do is keep occasionally looking in the Dropbox and finding the files and checking that you've got the latest one and you're building to the latest one. Obviously, if a component changes, you need to let them know, and they'll send it out to you. But otherwise, you kind of build along to the manuals that you find. So you're not cutting out pieces of balsa wood with a Stanley knife here. Then I'm just jealous. No, we're not. It is literally a little bit of filing or deburring, which you've seen this evening is fairly simple. If you've got the twiddly things to do the twiddling with, and I will find out the proper names for them, honest. And then it's putting together with clicos, which is, you can see, is fairly straightforward. You get the clico pliers. I've probably spent about £1,000 on tools so far. Most of that was the electric rivet gun, the Milwaukee rivet gun, which we'll hopefully see in a few weeks' time. as we pull that first rivet, which is the all-important first rivet. Time for work.
You don't
great
want to
job.
miss that. You really do not want to miss that.
Shid's off the work. I didn't know he actually worked. I thought he just kind of, swanned around and sent nice pictures on Twitter. But he does work, and I can't remember the company he works for actually. And he went down there for a good job. So good luck to him. But enjoy your day's work, Shahid. You can catch it up on the stream later. So as you can see now, we've got the channel. This is the rear spar, so we can stick that to one side. And actually, I don't think we need to do that because the next section is probably bolting them together, isn't it? It is. So what they do on the drawings is, you'll notice on here that the main spar channel there is blue. And if we look at the drawing previously, the spar channel was like a dirty silver colour. Then when you come through to the exploded bits, where they're showing the different colours again, you can see the fact the colours carry through for that section of the build. And then what they do is the next section, the parts will recolour again. So when you're getting onto like the wings, or you're getting onto the vertical stabiliser and thin. So we can now look at this and start to put together the clicos to put together the next part of the build. So
we got a question.
Go on, what's the question?
Which I need that highly accurate timepiece to tell me what.
How long will you be streaming for? We're actually probably going to stop in a few minutes' time. Actually, probably another 5 minutes. We just want to kind of get ahead around the clicoing, and we're probably going to be calling it a night fairly shortly. I don't really want to do streaming for more than about an hour and a half to 2 hours, because you people might get a bit bored of listening to my dad jokes. And obviously
one dad joke.
Come on, dad joke. Be one every week. I'll get a better one next week, and we can have votes.
We've
been told, yeah. So, but that's the plan. But yeah, and then as I said earlier, at the end of each section, so once we've completed the horizontal stabiliser and done all the parts, I'm going to take the videos and edit them down to a short 10 to 15 minute. So those that are following on the build can then quickly watch through the stream of like 10 to 15 minutes and just catch out the best bits. Which is obviously the dad joke and nothing else. So yeah, so we've now got this section now, so we want this part of the ends, and this goes on the end rivets like this. Hold on. It goes on the end like this. No, it's...
Yes.
No, it's that way round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got to be careful which way we put things.
All the drawings, and then we want some black clicos, please. There's some there, slightly off stream, so we're putting the ends on here, and
so I'll hold.
You hold, and I'll clico. So we do that through there. Actually, we could do one there,
and one at the top,
and one at the top. Sort of said about the fact that some of these have been used, so we'll clean that up. What you find is you can buy these clicos for a few pounds or dollars, or you can find someone who's already finished their build that's got them left over and doesn't want them anymore, and you'll get them even cheaper.
Right.
I was just going to go along and do it as we come along.
Okay.
Here, just that one, that section there. We'll lead that to afterwards, that part. Okay. So that section there goes near the middle.
So, okay.
You can't really see it there, can you? So what we'll do is we'll cheat and we'll go back to the exploded diagram right at the very beginning, which will help us because the exploded diagram shows the whole section. So this again is why you clicker it together, so you can learn which part goes where and make sure you get it correct. So we want these purple parts, which is those ones there, because they get bigger as they go along, and we want it that way round, and we want it facing in the same way, that way, and that goes in there. So if you hold that there, so there we go.
One at the top. Yep.
There we go.
Okay.
That's that one, and then we'll take the next one, which is orange, and again it's they're all opening towards the centre, and that's going to go in, I reckon, in there. Does that look about right to you, Chris, on there? Yeah, it does.
It does, yeah. However, this is why we're
Is
using
it the
Clecos.
first seconds goes on the inner section, that one.
So it goes up, yeah, okay.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
There we go. So we've got that, and then it's just this last one, which goes that way round and goes through there.
Ah, does it? Hold on. Oh,
no,
hold on
there.
a little minute. No, that's a different way.
What?
Look, because it's folded out, whereas those are
No,
folding in.
I'm on that one there.
Oh, not
Yeah,
that one.
so it's back front. So this one turns that way round. Yeah. So,
So we've done
faces
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, I've gone
And-
1, 2, 3, but yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Gone the other way. So yeah, and it's just now working out where these are. So not the centre, which is there, but back there.
No.
Yeah,
That's-
there.
Well, yeah, that's interesting.
So does that line up with that?
No. Is that going to be? Yeah, that could be about right. Because they're pretty close together and they're angled.
Yeah.
So they're going to be angled like that.
Yeah.
And like
So
that.
in that outlook there then,
Okay.
I think.
Well, hold on. How close is? You see, hold on, because we haven't got the hole. You know, we've got 3 holes there.
Yeah. So they've gone at the end
3
of that
holes.
red bit. So these bits here.
Just go at the end of those 3 holes.
Yeah. End of the 3 holes. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be this one.
Yeah.
All right. So hold on. All right, there you go. You got it. That's it. And then the bottom one.
As you can see here, we're how long are we streaming for? Can we push it to 2 dad jokes per stream? We certainly can. I like the idea.
Who said that?
I give bad advice. No, seriously, I do. I don't think it's bad advice at all. I think it's a brilliant advice. How does this get certified for flight? If you've got something,
Good question.
some of our amateurs in literal sense, how do they check it's been done properly and safely? Thinking it would have been way more involved compared to any certifications of a home build road kit, for example. Not much really. You build it, like I said earlier on the stream, you have an inspector come round. I'll talk while I'm clickering. You have an inspector come round, and that inspector will check the fact you built it. So once we've riveted this all together and this section's done, before we put any skins, so the skins are sitting up on top of the shelf there, which is the actual skin of the part. I'd get it down, but they're quite fragile, so we don't want to scratch them or bend them. Before you put any skins on, they'll come and make sure you've correctly done it. The holes, you've riveted the correct holes with the correct size rivets, etc., etc. And they sign off and stamp in your build log to say that you've done it correctly. You can then move on to the next section, which in this bit will be putting the skins on and aligning it all. And actually, the first time you put a skin on a part, which is normally the horizontal stabiliser, the inspectors recommend they're here and they give you a hand to do that part. So we're building this section at the back here, the horizontal stabiliser. They recommend they're here to help you with that bit, purely because when you put the skins on, if you don't do it correctly, you can twist the aerofoil. You end up with one slightly up and one slightly down, for example. And you don't want that, obviously, because the plane will just then turn. So yeah, great question. Yeah, home build road kit. Well, once you built it, you drive it on the road, didn't you? But normally it still goes for an MOT, and that's where you get your Q plate from with a home built in the UK. So yeah, so we're cracking on, and we've got you know, a fair bit of the build going on here. So if we get that one back up off the floor, Chris, we can then put it on the front.
Don't you want to put the other 4 in spars, cross ribs? Sorry. So we'll
I was going to put the front on, and then we can slide it along then. So if we get this section here, the bit we built earlier, Blue Peter, and is it go that way round or the other way round, Chris?
So that's something I'm not entirely too sure about.
It faces the same way as the other channel. So that goes like that, and like that.
Whoop, 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 careful. Don't want to bend the aluminium.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Where did you buy your parts? I bought them from the factory. So the whole kit you can buy from Sling. In the UK, they've got a UK agent, Tim, and so you buy the whole kit from the factory, and they deliver it. I've ordered my wings, and because of the Suez Canal getting blocked up some months ago, someone parked a ship in an odd direction. They've been waiting to be shipped across. There's a world shortage of containers because who knew that the containers kind of tend to do the same route all the time, and they've all gotten kind of mislaid in the wrong places in ports around the world, and obviously because of the pandemic, people are collecting their supplies from docks later. Companies have gone under that ordered parts before, and stuff around the world. So now the stock is now in a container stuck in port, and the port authorities don't know what to do with it. So that's why there's a world shortage of containers, which means like things like food prices and commodity prices are going up because that's what's happening. At least that's what I've been told. It seems to sound good to me. Now, spot the deliberate problem now is the fact that we've got clicos under there and not clicos here, and if we put the clicos in the right place. So we need to now just work out, and again, the reason you do this is while you're clicoing it together, you want to make sure that you can build it correctly so that you can have the clicos in the right place. So we've just noticed that we've got some clicos here, which we put in earlier. We're actually in the holes that we need to put this rib through. So we need to take those clicos out.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because you've got.
Oh, they go through there. Okay,
yeah.
right.
So
we need
those
to...
clicos in the right place. We've got to do that. Why don't we put the other ribs here? Then we can take this
and turn it upside down.
and turn it on its end like this.
Yeah.
Which will then allow the top, this,
Yeah.
to then rest on this while we actually work on it. So
good
we
idea.
get the other.
Yeah. Come on,
Yeah.
let's do that. Then.
Yeah.
Sounds like an idea.
Amazing. Computer programmers building a plane.
Yeah. So we want that one goes back to front, and it goes in there. And we need the copper ones. So good questions though. Keep them coming. That's where we bought the parts. The empennage kit, which is the bit we're building at the moment, which is the T at the back, which is effectively that section there of the aircraft. Just the tail section there was I've forgotten how many dollars it was now. I honestly
We're
can't
not going
remember.
to discuss price.
Yeah, I honestly you can find the prices on their website. I honestly can't remember how many dollars it was. But yeah, and then the wings are considerably more. I seem to remember it's
Yes,
about £4,500, somewhere around there, for
right,
the
top one.
for the empennage kit, and then the wings, etc., all go on top of that as well.
Okay, bottom.
There you go.
Okay.
So that's that.
Next.
Is this one.
Yep.
And it now points inboard like that,
Yes.
and this one goes there, I believe, in the first section of holes.
Yep.
After
Because there is no other place for it to go, so just by deduction.
So we'll do that. We're just going to clico
Top
these
one.
together.
Do a top one. That's lined up. It was. Yep, good. And then bottom one. Yep. Cool. That's that done.
And then that one goes next. Need some more clicos. Like I said, we need lots of them. Oh, you had some.
Yeah. There you go. And then the final bit.
Need a bigger bench.
Right. Was that on the outer? It was on the outer.
Right on the edge.
Yeah.
What I'd like to know is I'd like it to beep. I'm not sure. Silicon, can you make it beep when a message comes in? That'd be a good idea. In the past, I've sliced my hands on computer cases and made sharp edges of pressed steel. Where the edges and aluminium pieces, like really sharp, which is why we've got these gloves. These are just the cheapest ones I could get from Screwfix. And the reason I bought the cheapest, not because I'm a cheapskate, is because you want them to be really, really thin. You need to be quite dexterous. You don't want the builder's gloves, like these because these are quite thick and you know, you're not really going to feel the parts. You want the really cheap. I think these were like $1.99 a pair or something like that.
Yeah.
Super
Good
duper
tactile
cheap.
feedback because you can feel like the burring when we're burring and we're running our hands over the top, and that's important to actually be able to feel that. So obviously we don't want it catching on our skin, but these are nice and thin that it doesn't do that.
So
right,
I've done that.
So if we so this will then stay balanced like this, and then we can offer this up because I mean it's a dry build. So
yeah, you go that way round, and it goes
move it that way
there, and
okay.
Aha! So we've got that one is and then it's there and there. There we go.
Right.
You on? I don't think I've got them in the right place. Nope. There you go. Out bounds like that.
Yep.
It's fiddly this, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Got it?
There we go.
That's good. Right, they're lined up. They're lined up.
Right, so we're going to need copper ones for this, so just
copper
grab the
ones
box,
for the end.
Grab the box down and we slide it in a bit, Chris.
Well, let's careful. Yep.
Like this, and then you can click over there and I can click over here. Woohoo!
Does that sound like a starting of a tune?
No, we're not going to start singing.
Good. I play guitar, I don't sing.
Right, we're just starting to be careful because this is starting to bend a bit. What's up?
So are they the right size? I don't think they're the right size.
They might not be for your house, but they're for ones I'm doing, yeah.
Right, let's start that one again. That's better. Yeah, that's better.
In the beep on message, I don't know if of a built-in beeper. I know you be completely possible though. I can do all sorts of JavaScript UI integration stuff. That's a good idea. We could have some JavaScript that calls out to a function that does a thing with the thing, and you can end up with a beeper. Sounds all IoT to me, but we like IoT here. So yeah. So what we're realising here is that when we build this and we rivet together, these are starting to bend a little bit. So what I'm going to do...
They're supposed to be bent from there.
Yeah, I know, but
in the
you're
middle.
starting to bend in the middle. So I think we need to lay this flat, Chris.
Yep, I agree. Well,
So
we've got the
grab
ends.
that end.
Yep.
I haven't got my end in. I've not, no, but we lay it flat because I don't want to damage it.
Okay, rotate. Yep.
So we can do that, and now we've got it in. Now we can click over all the parts together. So what are you using to stream this? I'm using OBS to stream it, and then I've got Restreamer, which is doing all the making sure it goes out to Twitch and to YouTube's, and only because that's what I was recommended. I've not tried anything else. You think there's something better, then please let us know and we'll give it a go. And then yeah, that's handling the chat as well. So I need some 4.8s, Chris. A couple of those. Just put this end in, and we are nearly done. There we go.
We're going to have to be careful with these two because they're bending.
Yeah.
So until we get the skins on, I would presume that they're actually going to be in a straight line.
They will be
the
when the
skins.
skin
At the moment
goes,
they're bending, so we need to be really careful.
They will get held in by the skins.
Yeah, so they're going to be a bit of a challenge.
So, but yeah, so let's get these in, and then I think we are pretty much done for the evening. There we go. So we have, if Chris holds that end and I hold this end, we have the horizontal stabiliser. Ta-da! How cool is that?
Did I hear a round of applause?
There you go. How
Don't
about
do
that?
it like that.
Okay, fair enough then. So I think that will do for the nights. We've got some other parts to put on, but we're going to leave it like this. And I'm going to tweet out some pictures on Twitter because I'm kind of proud of what we've managed to do tonight. In an hour and 45 minutes, we've deburred, we've assembled with Clecos as a test fit, and yeah, it's kind of cool. So cross-platform messages are probably the reason for the earlier delay, possibly. What does Silicon Organ say there? What some streamers do is use a text-to-voice widget, then chatters get to speak. Can be intrusive though. Oh, I like that. If you know what that is, Silicon Orchid, that'd be kind of cool, because then we won't need to keep looking at the screen. Yeah, and then we might need to sort out the mod thing. Shahid did get caught by the auto mod earlier, so I've turned it off at the moment. I'm not sure if that's a wise thing, or a brave thing, or a stupid thing, but seems to be okay at the moment. But whether we get raided at some point and it all goes horribly wrong, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's enough for tonight. We've done enough building. It's 10:15 in the evening here in the UK. So I think we're going to leave it there. It's a nice natural place to break. We'll be back again next week. Either Wednesday or Thursday night is when we're going to try and do the stream. At the same time, always starting at 8 o'clock and working about an hour and a half to hour 45. No more than 2 hours. And there's be natural breaks like this. We finished Clico in this section together. Yeah, next will be just checking it all fits and there's no issues, and then we'll take it apart, give it a nice little scrub and a clean, and then we'll be doing some spraying. That might need to be done during the day, so what we'll probably do is record that or do the stream during the day, and that'll probably be a weekend, because we need to make sure that Chris is here as well, and we'll be doing some spraying. But that's it. If anyone else has got any questions, see you next time. Yes, see you next week. The app that only does it through donations as far as I'm aware. The app that uses that. Oh, the text to voice widget. Okay, we'll have a look. If anyone knows any more, please do let us know. Anyway, thanks everyone and good night.